What is your view of a just transition of the economy away from fossil fuels, and what changes towards a green recovery would you champion if elected as an MP?
A green and just transition is essential for Canada. I will continue to champion investments in public transit, cycling and walking, and innovation to create good middle-class jobs as part of a green recovery. The most important part of a just transition is respect for and recognition of Indigenous rights. In the last Parliament, we passed the United Nations Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples. We committed to eliminating inefficient fossil fuel subsidies by 2025 and are on track to do so. We've already phased out 8 corporate income tax breaks for the fossil fuel sector. We're investing in a variety of sectors to build a green economy and create good jobs. We will accelerate our 100% zero-emission vehicle sales targets to 2035. I was proud to attend the announcement at Ford of Canada just down the QEW, where we announced federal funding to transition their plant to EV production.
New Democrats have a bold view for a just transition through public investments directed to clean energy, climate resilience, social infrastructure, and energy efficiency in communities across the country. As MP, I would champion our commitment to climate leadership by reducing our emissions by at least 50% from 2005 levels by 2030, by eliminating fossil fuel subsidies, reviewing financial legislation, and making big polluters pay. As discussed earlier, our smart community investments will include retrofitting buildings and additional transit resources. These investments will tackle the climate emergency while ensuring a green recovery by creating over 1 million good jobs, with the rewards going to ordinary people, not to big polluters. We will do all of this by working together with reconciliation and tackling inequality at the heart of our climate crisis plan. We're not aiming to return to normal, but to better.
60 seconds is not enough time to answer such a complex question. First, I don't entirely agree with the premise. Second, who decides what is just? And is a green recovery actually possible without burning more fossil fuels overall? I prefer to people vote with their pocketbooks over government picking winners and losers. Let the free market decide. No one here would have predicted disruptive innovators like Airbnb and Uber. Environmental solutions will come from innovators in the private sector who develop profitable and efficient alternatives. The PPC will abolish subsidies for green technologies and invest in adaptation strategies if problems arise because of any natural climate change. We will prioritize implementing practical solutions to make Canada's air, water, and soil cleaner, including bringing clean drinking water to remote First Nation communities. Thank you.
I'm a huge believer of this. I think there's so much opportunity in this country, and the technology is making it available for us to make this transition now. I believe there's room for the people, the different entities that are involved, including the commercial ones, to all sit at the table and have a role in this transition. We're going to need skilled labor, whether it's geothermal, whether it's solar, whether it's wind, whether it's hydro. We're going to need labor to set up all of this. And right now, we know we can already do this. We see the model being adopted in other places. So I would be pushing this agenda. I would be pushing the labor transition, specifically creating incentives for people to learn the skills that may be required to transition from one to another. I think a lot of them will already be direct, but we're going to need this. I mean, moving forward into a green economy, we're going to require that there still be, the energy requirements for the transition. So that means utilizing what is available from fossil fuels carefully, and then making sure that we have that labor force in place to start building these stations across Canada.